All right, guys. So I did a little experiment this year. Last year, I come down in my bottom food plot and I killed it off. I plowed it up, and it took me hours upon hours. And then the deer come in and just basically annihilated everything as soon as it sprouted up. And then I had to come back and I replanted, and it was kind of a fight. Uh, in the end, it did work out. We did have plenty of deer forage here come the fall. So this year, I was watching different ways of how to do this, and I kind of screwed up because it was a little wet this spring. So I typically come in and I'll spray this, and I'll at least broadcast seed and some oats, and then once the oats come to head, I'll kill them off and go ahead and plow up. Well, this year I didn't get my oats in, so it's kind of overgrown with just all the other stuff that grew back in here. So I had some planting corn that my father-in-law gave me out of a planter he got, and he said he didn't know if it was going to grow. So I went and grabbed a bag of soybeans, some oats, and some turnips, and threw it in the old broadcast spreader. And I come down here. I terminated this bottom field, and I basically just waited 10 days. It was supposed to be a good rain. I come in and I broadcast seeded the entire area as you see. And what happened after I rolled it over was really surprising. We didn't get much rain. Well, I mean, like the weather guys ever write anyway. But everything started growing. Because of the duff that I have here where I laid everything down, my oats and stuff are just sprouting like crazy. And it's like 90 in the 90s and really no rain. We've just had just a little bit. As you can see as it goes out through there, there's plenty of oats just coming up. Just like if it was going through the motion and actually getting everything kicked out. I got plenty of turnips coming up. And surprisingly, I don't know how old that corn is, but I actually got corn and soybeans just coming up with no tilling. Absolutely no tilling. I just took a field. Basically, well, I actually extended this up. So this up here hadn't been done all for 2 years. So I actually made this a little bit longer. And no fertilizer, nothing. Just basically using the cover to keep the moisture down. And even though we are, really dry this spring, after, all the rain, again, I got corn, I got soybeans popping up, I got some clover coming back. It's surprising that it was as easy it was. Now, is my beans coming up like they did when I actually tilled and planted? Not yet. They're coming up. Don't get me wrong, they're coming up. But they seem to be slightly delayed in germinating. So it's only been a little over a week. And like I said, I got corn stalks, I got beans, I got a ton of turnips, oats coming up. So, but you can definitely tell in the food plot where it's a little thinner, where the deer kind of hammered it out last year. Digging up the turnips because there's just not as much coverage, and they're a lot sparser. Without the foliage covering it up, keep the moisture down. It's still germinating, don't get me wrong, but it's a fraction of the size. It's definitely not as big as it was up at the top of the field. So, like I said, I got plenty of beans growing. I got plenty of corn growing. I got shit ton of turnips growing. So I'm kind of happy. I mean, I was really hoping for a hell of a lot more rain. Like I said, stuff that's down here is sprouting now is about that tall. The stuff up there is like that tall. And the only difference is the amount of grass that's actually covering it up. So, like I said, it's just sparser here. And as you can see, this is the reason why I had to quit plowing. I picked out bucket loads of rocks, and I spent hours doing that, and as soon as I'd start plowing, more would pop up. So like I said, oats, corn, soybeans, turnips, all this by just coming in and spraying, waiting, broadcast seeding, and just rolling it over. I mean, like I said, plenty of oats, corn. It's coming up. Now some of my grass is coming back. That stuff's a little bit of it was hard to kill. Plus I didn't get a good spray on this. But still, I'm pretty happy since I put really no effort. I think it was 2 hours to do about an acre. An hour to spread it or spray it, let it sit and die, and then go back in. So I'll keep you updated. Bottom food plot's looking good. Deer in it every night, nibbling on those little shoots of oats. I mean, they seem to hammer the crap out of them. They're also nibbling on the sprouts, the bean sprouts. But being that the duff is about 4 to 6 inches high here, what that's actually doing for me is they're actually not nibbling them all the way to the ground like they did last year. So they're actually getting to a height where they're resisting a little bit more of the browse pressure than they were in the past. So hopefully this pays out for the girls. Last year they took 2 nice deer out of this field. Hopefully we can take 2 more this year. The deer are definitely hitting it. There's plenty of tracks going in and out. So bottom field, good to go so far. Pray for rain. Come on, rain. That's what we need. All right. Any questions on how I did it? Just let me know. Bye.